Austin, and welcome to Free Will Dream. I know that Glen's story is going to inspire a lot of people when you actually hear his journey.
You know, when we talked about this before, I mean, I've had a lot of dreams. I've always been a daydreamer. You know, I think there's night dreamers.
Right.
The night dreamers kind of go to sleep and dream. The daydreamers, they dream with their eyes wide open. I've always been like that. I've dreamed with my eyes wide open. So I think that what was happening inside me was I felt a level of unfulfillment. And that unfulfillment led to tremendous frustration. I went on a journey in personal growth and development where I started to study and learn more about how the human soul interacts, how we think, how our brain operates, what drives us, what drives humans, what drives other people to make decisions. Why am I doing things, sometimes to sabotage myself? So I really started to study my own actions.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in the 90-day cycle. It's in our program that we have. It's all about that 90-day period. Because I believe, and I'm sure you would agree, like a 90-day period, you can pretty much create a foundation to build whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, there's obviously work that happens after that.
Well,
that 90 days.
And it ties together with my dream was ultimately, every cell in your body, your hundreds of billions of cells, dies and is recreated over the course of 90 days. So there's a very specific reason why 90 days is that cycle. So essentially you can completely recreate or rewrite your entire life over the course of 90 days.
That's a great point.
If you really can have or be or do anything that you want, what is it that you want? And so a lot of people get confused by this particular question because ultimately what you're doing is you're asking yourself a question and then you're following the feeling, right?
That's correct.
So there's a feeling that happens inside you that drives you. The Greeks, the word enthusiasm,
right?
The Greek definition for enthusiasm is the God within.
Right.
So they're basically saying, to break that down, is that you have a passion inside of you,
right,
or a feeling inside of you, and that's what you're supposed to be following. When you follow that passion, everything becomes easy. All the stars line up and all the coincidences happen and all of a sudden the right people and the right circumstances come into your life. So
and a couple of things that you talked about, you did not think about money. You got in a creative place and you focused really, and you said you listened, but you also listened internally to what was really driving you, and to truly discover that process. We call it true north. When you really tap into those things that make you most excited, and it's really where your true gifts lie. It's like your true north. So you didn't think about money. I just want to bring up that point because a lot of people do think, well, I got to put money first, but really it's not. It's about putting what drives you first, and then the money kind of follows.
The money will come. Your brain has a GPS, like a virtual GPS. If you know where it is that you want to go, right? So I have the vision. I know where it is that I want to go. Your brain automatically, like a GPS, if you dial in, this is where I want to go. I want to go to 111 South North Street, whatever the address is. You're dialing into your vision. That's where you want to go. The GPS automatically now dials into where you are through a satellite signal.
Right.
So your brain, it's kind of the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if you start going down Route 9 to go towards your destination because you think that might be the destination.
Right.
If you're wrong, the GPS automatically does what?
Course corrects.
Course corrects. It reroutes you. So the important thing is not to necessarily know, should I make a right or should I make a left? It's more of get into drive and go.
Right.
Once you get into drive and go, you have course correction. I know a lot of people, it's not only that they've burned their adrenal glands out from overdosing on caffeine, they're eating processed food or taking the wrong supplements, or they're drinking alcohol or doing drugs, even if it's over the counter or whatever it is that they're putting into their body, that is slowing down their health. They're also not getting sleep, they're not getting exercise, they're not cleansing, they're not taking care of themselves on almost any level. Or maybe they're doing some of those things and not all those things. We decided to do all those things, but I think when you combine all of those things, and then you combine it with the fact that when you're actually pursuing your dream and you're passionate about what you're doing, you actually have another surge of energy, almost something that kind of takes over. I saw a huge facility that had, doctors and naturopaths and diet, and cleansing and exercise and, yoga and meditation and the psychological aspect and the sleep aspect. And, it's more of like a life center, and I don't think there's any model like it in the world that I could say, you know, you should associate it with this, because it's literally just something I see.
different, right.
You know, so this is, you know, we're so proud of what we built here, but this is one piece of a much bigger dream that we're looking to accomplish. We you know, think we can solve the health issue that's happening across the world. I think there's a lot of confusion right now about, you know, where a lot of these deeper debilitating diseases come from, and we feel that we have the answers to be able to solve it.